This is Georgie. She's just 7 yesterday. She's always happy. Well, we've always had multiple dogs. After Lily died and we were left with just Maisie, 6 months later we decided to get Betty and Bertie. This is Betty. She's our oldest one, 8 years, 5 months. She's a little bit quiet and a loner, but she's the boss. She's in charge of them all. You spin round when you get excited, don't you? And you're the lead dog when we're walking. You're always at the front. And you're the one that wants to talk to everybody. This is Bertie, brother to Betty. He's 8 years and 5 months old as well. Everybody loves Bertie. So laid back, reliable, ain't you? You're the best guard dog. You're always ready to give a good bark, aren't you? Miss nothing. And you're a cuddly dog, well behaved. In fact, if anybody wanted a dog, you would be the perfect one to have, wouldn't you? Then later on we met Paul and Leslie in Cornwall. And then meeting them, we've started collecting dogs like antiques. We wanted a tri-girl from them, but Georgie came along, who was a Blenheim girl. This is Georgie. She's just 7 yesterday. She's always happy. The intelligent one, ain't you? You're always at the centre of everything. Gorgeous fluffy coat, really soft. And when you get excited you start singing, don't you? Look this way. You're very affectionate and you still play really hard. You might be 7, but you can jump as high as little Phoebe. But you can be scared of loud bangs, can't you? And then we wanted a tri-girl. And Norman came along, a tri-boy. This is Norman. He's 6 years and 2 months old. He's a happy and very well-behaved boy. He's my shadow, always by my side. He always wants to be on my knee. Loves to play. He can be a bit grumpy sometimes, but he doesn't mean it. He can paint windows with his tongue, and he always wants to please. And then at the 3rd attempt, we finally got Jessie Olive, the last puppy from Mabel. This is Jessie Olive. She's 5 years, 4 months old. You're so laid back, aren't you? You're a mini Mabel. You're the spitting image of your relative. You're so pretty, you could have been a showgirl if you wanted to. You only play when you want to, but when you do, you go absolutely mental. But you can be a bit of a wimp, can't you? Phoebe was unplanned, but we're so pleased with her, so she's been a great addition. This is Phoebe. She'll be 2 in 6 weeks' time. She is our unplanned baby, but she's been a cracker since we got her. Always happy, always wants to play, loves bubbles and balls. Big fluffy feet, look. Aren't they? They're like Ugg boots. You love cuddles and kisses, don't you? You give that to anybody. If she could walk properly, you'd be perfect. We love dogs, so decided on a big family. That was our choice. It's hard work, but rewarding. We do everything together. We're always together. Sleep together, everything. Multiple dogs, you've got to be committed. You can't be part-time parents. We love feeding time for every one of our dogs has been exactly the same from day one as a puppy coming to the house to today. We've got no fussy eaters, never have had. We've always done 4 meals a day, which we have 2 very small ones, morning and supper, and then dinner and lunch they have the larger meals. always the same food every single day of their lives, and it seems to work for them because we've never had any digestion problems. They normally poo regularly morning and night, so everything's in order there. They're healthy and happy with it, so it seems to work. They never have human food, which is a thing that in our household is a sort of rule. So they never beg. 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. they don't have anything unless maybe we're out and they'll get treats somewhere or something like that. But they know that they're not going to get anything till morning. Water's always available. They drink a lot of water. And so they seem to get along with it. At meal times, it's a bit exciting because they're all a bit energetic. We've got Georgie, who jumps up constantly and tries to get on top of the worktop. Then we've got Bertie, who jumps at the cupboard. Betty jumps and spins around in circles. Phoebe circles everybody, hoping that we're going to get everybody else's food, but she never does. And of course, Norman and Jessie Olive, they're well behaved. The thing with multiple dogs is if you've got one or two, you can get away with them being in charge. But if you've got multiple dogs, you must be top dog. Otherwise, you've got no chance. Well, we've been pretty lucky with every single dog that we've had. They've all come house trained. I can tell you that we've never had an accident in the house from any of our dogs, even when they were babies. They're all happy. They do as they're told, but they're still excitable. They are naughty, but that's to be expected because they're playful. From day one, every single one of our dogs has always slept on the bed, so they're all cuddled together, which I think is the reason why none of them have ever got up during the night. They sleep right the way through until 7:45, when they know it's time to get up. When I switch the volume on my phone, it goes ping and they all jump off the bed. Birthdays, we don't really bother with toys or treats because they've got so many toys and they've got treats coming out of their ears, so we don't usually bother. But what they do get, they always get a party with all their chums. So at the party, they'll be getting treats and lots of games and messing about. They love cheesy doggy popcorn, doggy cupcakes, fancy doggy chews, and doggy chicken sausages are their favourite. Christmas is a bit different. They get toys and treats wrapped. The thing about Christmas is those treats will probably last them all year, so it's a win-win. Several doggy Christmas parties, so I think they don't do bad at all. Well, you'd think walking 6 dogs there would be a tanglement of leads. First thing, I can't walk them on extendable leads because they would get tangled up. But when I take them all together by myself, especially when we're on the beach, I've got 3 in one hand, 3 in the other, and they all walk at different angles, so it's very rare that they get tangled up. It's very fortunate. We've got a couple of other leaders, Phoebe and Betty, always out in front, so they're out of the way. And we've got 2 outriders, so it works pretty well. When Kay comes along, she'll walk Georgie and Bertie, 1 in each hand, because they're the best walkers. Then I've got Norman and Jessie in one hand, because they're the best walkers we've got. They really behave. Then we've got Betty, who's the lead dog. If she was a husky, she'd be right at the front. She leads, she doesn't pull, she's about an inch from pulling, but she's in the front, so she doesn't get tangled up. Then in the other hand, we've got Phoebe. That's a different story. She walks, and then after 10 paces, she runs to the extent of a lead. Then she walks, and then she runs again, and repeat. quite often when she's done that a couple of times and she's been told to stop, she will then walk behind me, behind my legs, looking through my legs. It looks so funny, but I have to watch that she doesn't pull me over. Well, on the whole, they're all good walkers, but unfortunately they all want to say hello to everybody, especially Betty. She wants to talk to everybody, screams at them to say, come and have a talk with us. They're well known in the area. They see a lot of the regular people, so they get stopped quite a bit on walks. Living in a holiday place, walking on the seafront and the beach, we get stopped quite a lot, especially with kids, and they all love it. They all behave. We sometimes have a problem with Norman when he meets other dogs, because he wants to say hello, but then he'll sometimes decide to give them a Glasgow kiss instead, so we have to hold him back. But other than that, they're all very good. When we're walking along, we see so many people and there are so many phrases that people come up with. We sort of have a point system where they'll say things. Are they all yours? 1 point. Are they all related? Another point. You must be mad. Do you breed them? Are you a dog walker? Do they all get on? Who's the boss? Etc, etc. So some walks we can get a full 10 points. It's only a bit of fun. It doesn't mean anything. We don't mean anything by it, but it just adds to the walks. Well, socially, we know many friends with dogs, and many friends with dogs that we've never met as well through Facebook and things. But we do have friends who don't have dogs, but fortunately they all love dogs and treat them as their own. We're well known in many pubs and cafes throughout the country, actually. We go to different places on holiday and they still remember us because we're in a big gang. Fortunately, our 6 are all well behaved, so we can take them anywhere, and we know that if we go in a pub, they're going to be excited to start with, then they'll lay down all the time, they won't beg for anything. Makes them sound like the goody two-shoes, but they're just well behaved. If dogs aren't allowed somewhere, we don't go, simple as that. They lose out on our company and they lose out on money. We're very lucky because we live in a place where there's so many dog-friendly pubs and cafes and beaches. And when we go on holiday, it's the same as well. We go to such places where there are so many things. The dogs rule our lives, but again, it's our choice. We're very lucky. We know lots of dog-friendly pubs, cafes, beaches throughout the country. Wherever we holiday, we always know that the pubs and beaches are going to be dog-friendly. So where we go, the dogs are welcome. We don't go to places where dogs are tolerated. They've got to be welcome. There's a difference between welcome and tolerated. Fortunately, ours are all well behaved, so when we go anywhere, we know that we're going to be fine. Holiday cottages, holiday parks, hotels, usually they only allow 2 dogs, which is a big restriction, but these days there are more places that take multiple dogs. And if you look on Facebook, there's a couple of groups and you can put your details in there. And if you want to take 5 or 6 dogs, there are so many places that will tell you where they are and what they do. We've been very lucky over the years. For about 20 years, we went to a place in Cornwall called Tremaine Green, which was a collection of 10 cottages, which were all dog friendly, and we used to meet there with several different people with dogs and had a great time. Unfortunately, they retired, but then we found this fantastic place called Bed and Basket, again in Cornwall, which is 4 converted barns, 2 massive paddocks, and for a fortnight every year we take it over. For the last 4 years or so, we've had 16, 17 dogs enjoying themselves, mainly from the Cavalier breed, because Paul and Leslie are there with their gang as well. This year is going to be a little bit different because it's been extended. There's a couple of local cottages and a couple of shepherd's huts So instead of about 16 or 17 dogs, there's going to be about 25 or so Cavaliers on holiday altogether. So when we hit the beaches, it's going to be so much fun. Our favourite beaches, Perranporth, we go there so often. We go on holiday to Northumberland. The beaches there are incredible, and we're fortunate here in Norfolk because there are so many dog-friendly beaches that you can just go where you want, when you want, even at peak summer. So it is restricted, but if you look, you will find somewhere if you've got multiple dogs. Yes, multiple dogs cost a fortune. When you budget and you get more than two, say, you've got to remember that this is for up to 15 years or so. So you've got to do your sums and know, can I afford to look after these dogs for all that time? Fortunately, we manage, we get by. Costs are going up, especially insurance, especially from year 8 with Cavaliers, and vets bills are just going stupid at the moment. So they do cost a lot, but we manage. All ours are insured. In our opinion, it's a necessity. I know that some people put money away instead, and if something comes along then they'll have the cash, but how many stick to that in the end? Some people set off doing that. We had an incident a few years back. Somebody stopped with their pet insurance. They walked out of their gate and somebody rode along in a bike and rode into their dog. And this was several years ago, and that was over £8,000. So what it would be like now, I don't know. So for us, insurance is a must. When you've got multiple dogs, it's got to be, the head has got to rule, not the heart. Because you've got to finance them, and if you can't finance them, then you're not doing the dogs the service that they deserve, because they're going to give you everything back. The older they get, the more it costs. So just remember that. Well, thanks for listening. These have been my views and my experience in dealing with Cavaliers, and I'm happy to say that fortunately ours respond and we've had good times with them. My experience is mainly with Cavaliers, but we had Irish setters. Now they are something else to train. They are absolutely mad. The thing with Cavaliers, they're lovable, biddable, they want to please you all the time, so it does make it easier that if you can become top dog, you're going to have a fantastic relationship with them. Life will be so much easier. Just leave you with a little trick that I use. I don't know whether you do or not, but facial expressions. You try with your dog different facial expressions, and if your dog's naughty and you have a stern face, they will stop being naughty and they will come to you and apologise. And then if you smile, they know that they're happy again with you. So the differences in your facial expressions is a way to look after your dogs. Another thing that you'll probably notice is if you're unhappy, your dog's going to be unhappy as well. So try not to push your feelings across to them, because you don't want them to be sad, do you?